All right. What's up, Sonic fans? It is Arlen. And I'm here with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Sonic Frontiers, early hands-on impressions. I'm going to be raw as fuck in this video. Like, I'm not going to leave anything out. I'm just going to be straight up honest. As a person who has played pretty much every Sonic game except for the Game Boy Advances once, I even played the spin-offs on the PSP and some on the DS like Sonic Rush. I'm pretty sure I know like a good extensive knowledge of Sonic. I've played pretty much all of them, again, except for the Game Boy ones. But this article, it seems that I first saw from Prim that I just want to discuss and put my whole hands-on approach to. It's just unknowledgeable at best. So let's go ahead and get into it. Sonic shows promise, but this new frontier feels like 2006. If you're a Sonic fan, rightfully, just with that first line, you just have to laugh because it's laughable. It's laughable that you even think. It's laughable that you even think that this is close to Sonic 06. It's not even close. Anyways, if you guys want to support me on Buy Me Coffee, it's down below in the description. It's for them to even make that comparison shows that they haven't played a Sonic game probably since 06. But let's move forward. Early verdict. Sonic Frontiers shows some of the classic promise in its linear levels. Classic what? You mean the past 10 years? Its linear levels are boost stages. That's it. Which they look good. But like I said, they're boost stages. Now, some of my other videos, I said I have some problems with animations. And I feel like they're just going to be throwing a lot of the same levels we saw with Sonic Generations. But with that being aside, boost stages are really fun. Cyberspace levels, they may have some that are completely unique and new to the new Starfall Islands and Kronos Islands setting. Anyways, linear levels feel like classic Sonic, and they mentioned something about the repetitive and made even worse with the awkward camera angle saying, okay? So, good sense of speed in these areas, obviously, of course. Free roaming sections feel repetitive. Are they talking about from a gameplay demo or EGX? Because from what I saw, it looked better than the stuff we saw when we first saw the trailers, which had me concerned. But with the new gameplay that's only 15 minutes at EGX, is it really repetitive when you've only got to play 15 minutes? Doesn't make any sense. Awkward camera. It's probably better than 06. 06 was terrible. It can't be like... And yes, Sega has had problems with their cameras over their games for the past decade, and even before that. True. Even Sonic Adventure 2 has some camera issues I didn't like. But to say that it's like 06 is insane. Repetitive gameplay. Like I said, 15-minute demo. Okay. Whoever reported on this hasn't played a Sonic game in 10 years, I promise you. All right? I promise you they haven't played a Sonic game in a minute. Sonic Frontiers is a grand return to the 3D platformer for everyone's favorite Blue Hedgehog. Created off the back of a wave of resurgent popularity after years of development, but after going hands-on with some of the free roam section in a linear level, we're left with a lot of fear. An open-world game featuring this mascot has been an utmost unachievable dream over the years, with only Sonic Heroes standing out from the... What are they talking about? What are they talking about? Like, they already lost me. Sonic Heroes is so old. Like, it cannot... You can't use Sonic Heroes in this instance because it's literally like a 60-year-old game. Like, it's not even close to... Where are they getting this from? Like, did they not play Sonic Unleashed? Have they not started the Boost trilogy? So Sonic Heroes standing out from the middling likes of Sonic Adventure and the 2006 Xbox 360 iteration of Sonic. This is where they really fuck up. Sonic Heroes came out way before 06. Way before 06. Why are you comparing it to the last game you played? Reporter, which nearly killed the franchise for good. I would say Sonic 06 did almost destroy the Sonic franchise in terms of like maybe sales, and people wanted to buy another Sonic game. But at the end of the day, kids are always going to see that blue hedgehog, and it's going to get a lot of sales because it's cute and kids like characters like that. Period. And parents are more likely to buy a Sonic game for their kids than a Call of Duty game. It's fact. But yes, Sega still believes the formula can work. And we all got just as hype as when Frontiers was announced. Does it deliver? Not really. So this is my main problem with whoever wrote this article. They haven't played a Sonic game. Because the fact that they're even using Sonic 06 lets me know they haven't played Sonic Unleashed. They probably haven't played Sonic Generations or Sonic Forces, which Sonic Forces, to me, it's not a great game at all. But we got to give credit where credit is due. Even Sonic Forces is better than Sonic 06. You could at least use Sonic Forces. You use Sonic 06? That game came out in 2006. I believe Sonic Heroes came out 3 years or 4 years before that game. So it's not fair to compare Sonic Frontiers to that game at all. I call these early hands-on impressions because that is exactly what they are. I played a 15-minute chunk of the game. You played a 15-minute chunk of the game. It cannot possibly show what the game has to offer. You didn't play anything. You played a demo of what they're showing, but it's not fair to judge the entire game. Because I already made that mistake like a lot of other Sonic fans and a lot of other gaming fans when the first trailers came out, because it did look bare bones. Maybe it was saved by a longer development cycle and they had more to add to the game. Nonetheless, it's not fair off a 15-minute chunk of the game, especially because it's an open world game. Of course, these may change when I play the full product, but in this demo, I got to experience both exploring one of the Starfall Islands and teleporting to one of the more standard linear levels you'd expect from a Sonic game. So you expect a standard linear level, but with your comparison to Sonic Heroes, the reason why I say it doesn't make sense is because the gameplay has fundamentally changed since Sonic Heroes. Sonic Heroes is pretty much like a team-up game where you can switch between characters and you had to move around with your analog stick on a very slippery slope. Seriously, the characters felt very slippery. Sometimes it felt automated. You're running up these loops, going through Seaside Hill and all these iconic levels, Mystic Mansion. But it was all about using characters at different times for teamwork. And to me, Sonic Heroes is a great game. But you want to compare a game like Sonic Unleashed or Sonic Generations to something like Sonic Frontiers because it's closer to the Havoc engine, which is what Sonic has been using. And even though Force's engine is different, it still has similarities to Sonic and Sonic Generations and the Havoc engine that they use. Those are the closest in modern Sonic, right? So, okay, let's keep going. Gotta go fast, not so fast. So, they talk about the speed and control. Now, first off, from demos I've seen, I haven't played a game, but it looks like Sonic is really nice to control, and we don't need Sonic to be insanely fast in this instance. He's on an island, and it's open world. I expect him to go really, really fast when he's going through these cyberspace stages because it makes sense. Maybe even makes sense for the story. We'll find out. But having Sonic being able to boost across is all absolutely ridiculous and would essentially nerf the game into oblivion. We need Sonic to have a more balanced movement style because it's open world. So yes, he goes fast enough to where you could traverse and travel around, use rails and jump pads and homing attacks and maybe you could boost a little bit. You could use your spin ball to go down hills, things of that nature, from what I saw from the EGX demo. And you also have combat installed. You don't want it to where Sonic can just blast through enemies. He has to fight these cyber-looking enemies with combos and parries, and maybe you have to unlock different skill sets with different skill points that you receive. You have to hit combos. You know what I mean? Like, we don't want this game, Sonic Frontiers, to be anything like the past games like Sonic 06 or Sonic Heroes. So that one right there, with just the hand-to-hand combat, which Sonic has never had in a game, to my knowledge, besides Black Knight. Okay? Sonic has never had any combats besides the Smash Brothers and Black Knight and the Secret Rings. And those, he had weapons in his hand. This is the first game where you see Sonic like literally using kicks and punches and dodges. We need a different change of pace, right? So my adventure started with a goal of collecting 2 teleport pieces, which meant exploring a part of the island and finding my way around. If these sections are the vast majority of the game, then we've got some problems. To get there, you run across an open world, taking advantage of certain classic Sonic tropes, such as bumpers and grind wells. On the face of it, Sega has tried its best to overcome a lot of what went wrong in the 2006 version of Sonic, scraping the naff walk and talk element in favor of a playground with plenty of toys to interact with. But if anything, these further highlight how this formula doesn't work in a 3D open space. The sense of speed is lacking. The gameplay of attacking repeated waves of enemies while finding the standard set of items got repetitive quickly for me over the space of a few minutes. And most annoyingly, the camera really doesn't help the situation. The camera looked fine in the gameplay I saw. Okay, that's how I feel. I had my fingers crossed that Sega had an answer for this from its last attempts. Be it more fluid manual camera control or a smarter automatic option that gave you the best view at all times. In reality, the company doesn't seem to have one as depth perception for hitting platforms is still problematic. Okay. Honestly, they may be right about adding the rails and jump lines. Maybe they shouldn't have done that, and maybe should have created a whole new traverse system for Sonic without those jump pads and rails that are staples of the game, or ramps. Other than that, though, I feel like they had to bring it in to add to the Sonic formula and what we know about a modern 3D Sonic game. Now, let's see this part. A whiff of the classic formula. But then I went through the teleporting. This is them saying this. I got to hear this because this already looks like bullshit, but we're going to read through it. But then I went through the teleporting throne to the next part of the level. And well, this is a glimpse of Sonic greatness I really wanted to see. Much like Sonic Heroes. Now, again, if you see the gameplay for cyberspace levels, cyberspace stages, this person that went through the teleporting throne, those are boost stages. They literally play like boost stages. Why are they comparing this game to Sonic Heroes? Why? It's not even close. It says it was a linear 3D high-speed run through a level of interesting obstacles and multiple routes. Put simply, this is what I wanted the entire game to be. Okay, so you want another Boost Sonic game. Just say that. You don't want the open world aspect because you feel it's unnecessary. Put simply, this is what I wanted. A rampant run that challenges your reaction time to move across different parts of this vertically stacked level to maximize your return on gold rings and power-ups. This moment felt great, but it came after 70% of the demo focusing on the free roaming section, which has just felt downright dull. If this is the pacing we can expect, then my concern for the health of this hedgehog is rising. Okay. So it sounds like this person doesn't like this direction for Sonic and then wants to compare it to games that have nothing to do with the current Sonic game that we're getting now. They want to compare it to games that are much older and skip a whole Boost trilogy that defines Sonic now. I think that's funny. The blue hedgehog was nearly killed by his 2006 outing on Xbox 360. I get it. It's true. Sonic Frontiers does improve on that formula. It's not using the Sonic 06 formula. It's not even fucking close. Who is this reporter? Who are they? Are they stupid? Are they dumb? Anyways, this person has no clue what they're talking about. We know that for sure. And it's sad that this person felt the need to write something on something they don't even know what they're talking about. I'm not even heavily involved in the Sonic community, right? Like, I don't make a ton of videos on Sonic, at least not. Now I do, because I've reinvigorated my interest in Sonic, and I want to talk about Sonic. But somebody with this level of, influence, I guess, they're able to write an article. They don't know anything about Sonic. And like I said, I've been largely out of the Sonic community since Sonic Generations. I left when Forces came out. I can't do it no more. Now I'm coming back for Sonic Frontiers because I think it's good. And this person is comparing this game to a game that came out in 2003. They're going to pick better writers. They're going to pick better gaming journalists. Because if they don't know what they're talking about, then what's the point? Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe and peace out.